Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. Before I go into the video itself, I just wanted to give you an update about my health and how I will make videos moving forward until I'm fully recovered. But if you want to go straight to the video itself, I will post a timestamp below so you can just jump forward. So as some of you might have seen, I have had COVID for about 2 weeks and I tested negative I would say about 6 or 7 days ago. I'm still struggling with a cough, but most of the symptoms that I had are basically more or less gone. I didn't have any fever, but I had this condition, exhaustion, breathing problem. So I was actually putting myself into quarantine so to protect my wife and everyone around me. So I stayed in this room and I was sleeping over there on this couch actually. And just moving from the couch over to this desk was actually so exhausting, as if I was working out like for 2 hours straight. Whenever I was just sitting down, it was okay, but yeah, just standing up, walking around made my life so difficult. I always had to sit down. I have had a cough, which I still have, so I can't talk very long without coughing actually. Yeah, that's basically it, but it was really exhausting, really annoying, and having this cough makes it a little bit difficult, as you have seen in my last video where I tried to make a video. My voice didn't manage that long, so I will try to keep this short as possible, this video. But this also means that in the next, I would say, I don't know how long it will take until I'm fully recovered. Some people told me that the cough stayed for 2 weeks after they tested negative. Yeah, I hope it doesn't stay that long. As I said, if I talk a longer period of time, I can already start feeling it scratching in my throat. So this will kind of affect making videos, and I will take it slow. The same goes with being exhausted. I feel like I am well, but I don't feel like I am at 100%. So that's why I don't want to promise that I will do reviews about backpacks coming soon. I have a bunch of backpacks here and I will do quick looks, but I feel like I'm not sure. I just don't feel 100%. So that's why this video is about an EDC set. It's small, it's simple to carry around, and it is easy to test, or has been easy to test within this week where I was negative but still only had the cough. So yeah, that's what's my health at the moment, and I hope that I will fully recover in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Thank you so much for your patience in waiting for these videos. So let's go into the full video on this new set of EDC items. Alright, so this is my small little new edition updated Everydaycarry setup that I have tried for the last 2 weeks. I actually started while I was in my own quarantine, trying to get better, laying on the couch or in my bed, and just put everything in here, all of these new items, and carried them in air quotes in my little home office. But I actually always wanted to utilize a small pouch for EDC, especially for, let's say pants where your pockets are more likely to lose stuff whenever you sit down, especially with these, let's say, slippery items like knives or flashlights that are made out of metal. With some pants, it is very likely that they just slide outside of your pockets, and therefore utilizing a small little pouch makes it either less likely that you not notice that pouch sliding out, because obviously everything is consolidated into this small pouch, and having this slide out is much more noticeable than a small little flashlight, for instance. This is the Trakke micro Foulden pouch. It has this little carabiner. I honestly forgot what you call this style of carabiners. I don't like it that much because it feels not as easy to operate as regular carabiners, in my humble opinion, because it's kind of slippery in a way, and because it is angled in this way, when you press it down and have some force on it, your thumb, depending on how slippery it might be, tends to slide just a smidge to the front, and it feels like you don't have that much pressure to apply to open this carabiner, because whenever you press, it feels like your thumb is sliding a little bit to the front, and therefore you have the feeling that you don't apply a lot of or not enough pressure, or your power that you apply is kind of wasted. But it is a good looking carabiner, and it's refreshing, and I kind of still like it from a visual standpoint. What I can say about this pouch, I really love this pouch, and it's a great pouch, and I can highly recommend it. But what I notice is that this metal zipper pull is really noisy. Can you hear this? It is it's loud. So when you have it on your belt loop and walk around, you can, and you don't really secure the pouch, you just hang it there. You hear the zipper pull. Obviously you also hear now some of the stuff rattling around inside, but this one was really noticeable to me right away. And yeah, some might find it a little bit distracting. I was thinking about kind of like using gaffer's tape around here, but because it is round, it is difficult to put gaffer's tape on the zipper pull and make it look nicely. Therefore, I haven't done it yet. Maybe, just maybe, I will use some pliers and just get rid of the zipper pull and attach a paracord zipper pull. I don't know yet. So again, this Trakke micro Foulden pouch, highly recommended. Oh, if you want to get one of these items, check out the affiliate links in the description below. With that, you don't pay more, but you will support the channel with a small kickback of that sale. So now let's go inside this small little pocket. It has a capacity of 0.2 liters, so it is fairly small. It's just for your essentials. It's not like this big pouch, but you don't want it to be big and bulky, because to me it is an EDC item that keeps your pockets a little bit free, but isn't too big to weigh you down, because you just want to have some EDC. So yeah, starting with a lip balm. So let's start with the first item that you already have seen in a video last week with my quick look about the JamesBrand Ellis Slim. This little knife is supposedly a little bit more legal or allowed in some countries like the UK or Germany. You are not allowed to have a knife that is one-handed operational and has a fixed or lockable blade, and this has neither. You have to use two hands to open it up, and it's not lockable. Nevertheless, it is a great knife, and I used it this week for opening boxes, package of sugar and stuff like that. For those tasks, I love having a knife. That being said, I was so used to using the JamesBrand Palmer, which was in my top 3 items list, and I really love this because it is one-handed operational. Unfortunately, it's also lockable, but I feel like since this blade is so small and easily to get rid of, I feel like this is more likely if you get into a situation with a cop, for instance, that the cop might let you get away with it and says like, okay, please get rid of this blade, but you still can keep your expensive tool. With this, I feel like there could be a situation where a security guard or a cop will say, okay, I will confiscate this knife. So I'm not very comfortable carrying this around. Moreover, I felt like using a blade with this length to open boxes, I actually felt a little bit uncomfortable to use this, because I was a little bit afraid that I might slip and then cut the items inside the box while opening the tape. So that is why I really like this knife. It is great in your hands. It's small to carry around in this pouch, but it's still not as, I don't know, it didn't feel as utilitarian as this, because this was so easy to, okay, let's use this, then cut the box to little pieces without being fearful to damage your floor. You know, I usually kneel down on the ground and then cut up these boxes, and I never feared to kind of scratch my floor with this knife because it is so short, and even if I slip, it's not that likely that I cut the floor. With this, I felt like, okay, this is a little bit longer and it's more likely to kind of slip if I use too much force at the end of cutting up the boxes, that I could kind of like slice my ground. So yeah, on one hand, I really like this knife because it's compact. It is, at least to me, to a person that is not that knowledgeable about blade steels, knife construction, to me it feels very high quality. I like this micarta. I'm not that big of a fan of serrated blades, if I'm quite honest. I don't know, in my day-to-day use I don't really need it. So I think from a build standpoint, from a usability standpoint, this JamesBrand Ellis Slim is great, but it's not 100% for my day-to-day use, so I will probably go back to the Palmer. But for you, this might be, especially in the UK, I would highly recommend check out your local laws about knives. Also, this scraper thing, I don't know. I don't feel that it is useful. I've never used a scraper. And also for tripod plates, this is great as a screwdriver, but for any other flathead screws, this feels too big and not that useful. But for your camera gear, this is great. The last new item that I used and that I really like, this is the Wuben Light X0, and this light is great. I always wanted to use a flashlight where the LED is in a 90-degree angle, because you can attach this to your backpack. You can actually attach it to the brim of a hat, so if you wear a cap backwards, you can just put that onto your head and you have a headlamp. And this light looks just amazing. It looks like a futuristic tool, or this is kind of like a small little spaceship. This is also a fidget tool, because this cap, it is actually the button, but it also protects the USB-C port to charge it. This is a fidget tool. Oh, I accidentally turned it on. This is a great little fidget tool. What I can say from using this is it is great in the hand. At first I was like, okay, how do I hold it the best? Do I hold it kind of like this spray can style? Because usually you hold a flashlight like this because the LED is here, right? And you push the button and then you go like this. But with this, you kind of hold it. This guy with the scooter, he's always riding around here. Not sure why he keeps riding around the block, and it's so loud. Sorry about that noise. So yeah, so this X0, you hold it kind of like this, turn it on, and then kind of like light my way like this or like this. This is actually really cool. At first I thought, okay, this is very tiny to hold, but it's actually not that bad. I have fairly small hands, so your mileage might vary. So you have a couple of modes. So first you turn it on, obviously, and if you hold it, you can change the brightness. You have 4 brightness modes, but if you double press it, you go into this turbo mode, and then you have this really bright light. It has a very round, concentrated beam with a little bit of spread outside, so it's great to light your way when you're like looking around, finding your keys that you might have dropped, or when you're like me. I test this a lot walking with my dog and trying to find poo on the ground. I had this argument. Someone told me, hey, why don't you just use the flashlight on your phone? And there's a simple answer if you are a dog person. In one hand, you're holding the leash, right? In the other hand, you hold the doggy bag. You could use your flashlight on your phone whilst holding your leash. So you're kind of like fumbling like this, and you're trying to grab the poo off the ground with your dog bag. However, it is kind of fumbly, and it is very risky, and the risk is high that you accidentally drop your phone. And I promise you, this happened to me almost. I was like, the dog poo was here and my phone fell there. So this can happen, and I don't want to drop my phone onto dog poo. Therefore, it is much better to have a flashlight that is smaller and that is much easy to handle with a leash in your hand. So imagine this is my leash, right? So you have this and this, and you light your way while you grab the dog poo with the doggy bag. With a phone, this is much more difficult, and it's very likely, especially if your dog pulls like this, right? It's very likely that you accidentally drop your phone. And With a flashlight, it would be terrible, but I feel like even if you clean it, it's okay. I don't know. Even if I would clean my phone afterwards, I still put this onto my face, right? So I don't want that. I don't want to put anything to my face where I know there was some amount of dog poo on here. So I don't want to do that. Therefore, I carry a flashlight, but that's just me. Also, if it's off, you actually can double press and you have a strobe. This is great. I have been saying that the flashlight is also a great self-defense tool, in my humble opinion. If you have an attacker, you can actually blind that person. It's also very bright, even in daylight. It's not that effective, obviously, but I believe it is more likely to get marked or attacked at night. So being able to blind an attacker and then running away afterwards is, in my humble opinion, a great defense tool. What I can say to you is this button, it feels amazing. It has, as I said, you want to fidget around with it. However, it is also very easy to accidentally switch on while it is in your pocket, and this actually happened to me. I was like, something is warm in my pocket, and I just looked inside my pocket and I noticed that the flashlight was on. And this will obviously, if you don't lock the button, it will always stay in the last brightness level. So I had it in the brightest. It gets warm. It's not getting hot or anything. Granted, I didn't know how long it was on in my pocket, but it was warm to the touch, but not uncomfortable or anything. So what I would highly recommend is to use the button lock. So you press this, when it's off, you press this fast 4 times. You get this confirmation, and then this thing is locked. And to unlock it again, you have to press again 4 times. And then it switches on. Unfortunately, when you lock it, it doesn't stay in the last brightness mode and starts with this lowest mode, which is kind of disappointing. I would have wished that it would always start from the last brightness mode. This kind of makes the situation, or my recommendation to use this as a defense tool, a little bit difficult. So on one hand, when it's locked, you have to push it 4 times, then it is basically on, and then you have to double press again to go in the turbo mode to kind of blind your attacker. So what I would recommend is, if you are walking home at night and you feel afraid, just unlock it and then just keep it in your hand, basically, or where you can quickly grab it. But if you just store it, I would say lock the button by pressing 4 times, and then it's locked. The battery capacity is 1100 milliamp hours, and in my experience I haven't charged this for the last 3 weeks, and I used this in the last 7 days at night every evening for about 10 to 15 minutes at full brightness mode. So I can say that the light or the battery is holding up quite well, and having USB-C makes charging very easy. What I can say about the build quality, this thing is built like a tank. However, I like this. I don't consider this a negative, but I want to mention this color, this, I'm not sure what you call this, grayish, it's kind of futuristic color, in my humble opinion. I kind of feel this is kind of cyberpunky, and it matches, well, it's not matching, but I feel like this go together quite well, this grayish micarta. If you are in the same age bracket like I am, maybe you remember the Commodore C64. It had this kind of color, which I kind of really like, and this is kind of looking like an Atari. So I really like this look. However, obviously everything that is kind of excuse me, I had a little bit of a cough and I was stopping the video to cough, but I feel a little bit out of breath. That are the downsides of COVID, and as I said, the reason why I'm having a hard time doing these videos. But I'm trying my best, and I hope I fully recover soon. So this white actually gets it's not getting scratched up, but you can see some marks of it sometimes. Here you have a little bit of scratching. It's not bad. It's still durable, but as I said, you will see dirt or small scratches from this black blade. You will see that on here, but I like that. Personally, I don't mind it. I don't see it as a downside. It gives character. I like items that have patina, that are scratched up, and where you clearly see that they are used. And with EDC items, I feel like they have to look a little bit messed up, a little bit scratched up, have patina, are dirty, and this is built like a tank. This is not going to break, and the lens hasn't scratched up. Obviously, probably if I bang it on here, it will break, I assume. I don't want to test it because I love this light, but I don't think this could break if you drop it or anything. So downside of the XO is that it will show marks, let's call it that, marks on this white grayish material will show up much faster. The button is easy to press, but it's also easy to accidentally press. But other than that, I don't have any negatives about this light. I love this. Oh, okay, maybe one thing. This thing, some people will like this. I'm not sure if I like it or dislike it actually, but this clip, this is very durable. If this would be off, this could be a stabbing tool. You could put this onto an arrow and then just shoot anything. This is very stiff, very durable, and therefore it is kind of difficult to put onto a belt if it's a thicker belt, because there's not much give or flex to easily slide this onto a belt. That's why basically I just store it in my pocket. I wanted to put this on my belt or just stick it onto my pants pockets just to keep it in place, but this clip is just way too stiff and durable. On one hand, you can respect Wuben for making something so durable and making sure this won't break off any time in the future, but it's also a little bit too stiff, and in my humble opinion they overshot a little bit wanting to make this so durable, and therefore making it a smidge difficult to properly utilize this clip, at least for me personally. And I have a leather belt, so maybe that's the reason. It's a little bit thicker. Maybe that's the reason why it's difficult to clip on there, but just something for you to know. Also, if you want to check out this light, there's also an affiliate link in the description below. Again, you don't pay more, but you will support the channel with a small kickback of that sale. And those are the 3 new additions to my setup. The Trakke Micro Foulden, the Wuben XO, these 2 definitely will stay in my EDC, but this, I love this, I like this a lot, but I probably will change this, go back to the Palmer, or I will try out this JamesBrand knife, which is lockable, which is one-hand operational. I was actually fidgeting around with this a lot, but I will only test this at home. I'm not allowed to carry this around. This has the same issue like this one, where I feel like the blade is a little bit too long, where I might accidentally damage something that's inside the box when I try to open it. But I want to test this out at home and maybe give you a review, but for now I will go back to the Palmer, switch the Ellis out, and have this new setup of these 3 items with me at all day, in addition to my other EDC. So yeah, what do you think about these items, and what's your EDC? Do you carry a pouch for your EDC? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, so that was the video. Thank you so much for watching, and again for your patience and waiting for these new videos. And again, I hope I will recover pretty soon. I will try to do some backpack quick looks, but yeah, as soon as I am fully at 100% of my health, I will start reviewing backpacks again. So yeah, that was it. If you want to get one of either these items, please feel free to check out one of the links below. Those are affiliate links. You won't pay more, but you will support the channel with a small kickback of that sale. And yeah, if you have any more questions, comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, and please feel free to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell icon so you won't miss next videos. Also check out my podcast, Instagram, and second channel at You Know The Bow. Stay safe, and more importantly, stay healthy everyone, and I see you very soon, I hope, in the next video. Thank you very much.